Manish, there are elections that are going to take place in 10 states by the end of next year. It starts with Gujarat and Himachal this year. Now, when Sonia Gandhi was talking to Congress MPs today, she didn't specifically say that, state elections are coming up. And so her comments have really been open to interpretation. Can you tell us what she was talking about? Is this her way of hinting that there could even be an early general election?
Well, let me clarify it once for all, Nidhi, so that there is no scope for any ambiguity at all. The reference to elections in the Congress President's speech was a reference to the upcoming and ensuing assembly elections in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh, and then the round of assembly elections which would follow, and eventually in 2014. There would be the parliament election. So by no stretch of imagination, by no stretch of stretching the English language, could this be construed to mean as a reference to a midterm poll?
I ask you that not just because of the speech that she made to Congress MPs today, Manish, but also because of her demeanor in Parliament today. She was seen, she was very active, leading from the front, as we said. She was talking to Mulayam Singh, she was talking to Lalu, the other allies. And, one got a sense that she's in a sense getting the troops ready for battle. Or are we just reading too much into that, you think?
Well, the troops have always been ready for battle. And the battle is to ensure that the campaign of calumny, the campaign of innuendo, the campaign of aspersions and baseless allegations and insinuations is combated with full vigor so that the truth is put before the people.
Okay, so Manish Tiwari is denying that Sonia Gandhi was talking about a midterm poll. Rajiv Pratap Rudy of the BJP joins us now. Mr. Rudy, you heard what Sonia Gandhi had to say to Congress MPs today. What do you think it meant? How do you interpret it?
Well, I need not interpret what Sonia ji had to say and to communicate to her own MPs or party workers or whatever it may be. What we have to communicate to the people is that there has been something very extraordinary which has been done under the nose of the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister is completely accountable to the nation of what has happened under his tenure. And that is the charge which we are saying, and that is exactly what we are demanding, that his presence there as the Prime Minister is untenable. And so far he has been passing on the blame, whether it was in the Commonwealth Games or in the 2G or on others. This time the Prime Minister has been completely squarely caught, and I think we have to take that call, and that call is that we cannot have an impartial investigation, whether it's the CAG or maybe for that matter as far as the CBI case is involved, where the CBI is investigating the tenure of the Prime Minister as a coal minister, unless and until he steps down.
But Mr. Rudy, I have a question for you. I have a question for you on this whole possible scenario of a midterm poll, and I'm asking you that because we're also trying to understand what the BJP's end game is in its strategy right now to disrupt Parliament. Are you ready for a midterm election? Is that what you want?
Well, if you talk about the midterm polls, it is not the BJP which is going to impose the midterm poll on this country. And it is for those who have to decide whether they are with the Congress party on the issue of corruption, they are against it. And it would be very soon whether the alliance partners, when the alliance partners of the UPA will have to decide whether they want to go along with the Congress under the burden of the charges levelled by the opposition, and what has been happening in the last couple of years is the choice of their supporting partners. And I do not know they can survive a very long duration, or they can endure for a long the charges which is being levelled against the government. So it's not our call. We are going to go to the streets now, right from the Parliament to the streets of this country, and we are going to battle it out, because Parliament has supposedly become forum to legitimize corruption, because they say that if we indulge in corrupt practices, let's come to Parliament, let's go for a debate, and that's the strategy which they have adopted, which possibly lacks accountability. So what the BJP says today is accountability of the Prime Minister, and that is what exactly we are demanding today.
How is that accountability going to be measured? You don't want a debate in Parliament. You are not sort of pushing for a no confidence vote either. You could push for a no confidence motion, Mr. Rudy.
We have experimented.
Then say let's have a midterm poll. Why doesn't the BJP say that it favors a midterm poll then?
No. This would be the natural outcome. It is for the. You see what has actually happened with the Congress party, and my friend Manish would agree that they have the numbers. So as long as they have the numbers, they can say we can go scot free. We can do anything what we want to do, whatever your charges or allegations may be. Now these numbers have become so sacrosanct that Even if the BJP says let's have a head count in parliament, we don't have the numbers. But that does
That's why I'm
not
saying have a
deprive
midterm
us of
poll.
our right.
Resolve it.
Deprive us of our right to protest and say that look, things simply by a debate in parliament cannot justify the enormous and the monumental corruption which is looming large on this government.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.